Okay, now we're going to do exercise 1D, and this involves trigonometry, which should have been taught to you at length last year. First of all, we have right angle triangles, and in this one it's 35 degrees, 30 centimeters for the hypotenuse, x centimeters, that's the unknown for this side, so we have to find x. We're not given the top side. Now we need to know the terminology. We always talk about sides in reference to the angle. Now x is opposite the angle, so we call that opposite, or O. The longer side is the hypotenuse, I'll call it H, and the side next to 35 is called the adjacent, or A. Now these sides are included in this rule, SOHCAHTOA, where S stands for sine, sine is opposite divided by hypotenuse, C stands for cos, cos is adjacent divided by hypotenuse, T stands for tan, or tangent, which equals opposite divided by adjacent. Now in this question we don't know adjacent, where we just want something with hypotenuse in it and opposite in it, so we can find the x, the opposite. Now the one that's got that is this one here, sine. So we're going to write sine 35 equals opposite, which is x, divided by hypotenuse, which is 30. To solve this, we need to get x by itself. At the moment it's being divided by 30, so to get it on the opposite side we times by 30, the opposite operation. So it's 30 times sine 35. Now if you do that in your calculator, that will be 30 times sine 35 equals, and you get 17.2 centimeters. So that's the length of that vertical side there. Do note, when you do calculations like this, you can be in the wrong mode. So if I go into mode and I'm in radians here, I log that onto radians, and I do that again. If I do 30 sine 35, I'll get a different answer because you're in the wrong mode. So you have to press mode, you've got to go down and put it into degrees. We'll use radians much later in the course. Right, now before you do other questions, I'll just do D as well, because that's where x will actually be on the bottom of the fraction. Now this one here, we've got 65 degrees, we've got a right angle. Again, we have to have right angles for this work, these rules to work. 3 meters on the bottom, and x, we have to try and find the hypotenuse. Now because we've got the adjacent side, we've got the hypotenuse side, we don't have the opposite. That means we can't use sine, we can't use tan because they got opposite in them. We're going to use cos. So cos of 65 equals adjacent, which is 3, divided by hypotenuse, which is x. This time x is on the bottom, so to rearrange this, I'll simply do this a quick way, and then if you're interested I'll show you other ways of doing it. The quick way is anything on the bottom is really being divided by that. So to put on the opposite side, we're going to make it times. So x goes up, and cos, which is times, comes down to be divided. So you just basically swap those around. So x goes up the top, and cos 65 goes down the bottom. And you put that in the calculator, and that's your answer. So it's 3 divide cos 65 equals, and it's 7.1 rounded off, 7.1, and I think we're in meters. Yep, that's in meters. So that's the length of that hypotenuse for that triangle. Now if you're interested, I'll just show you how to rearrange that other ways. You could have done it this way, so we'll write that down again. Cos 65 equals 3 on x. Another method, first of all, we'll put that over 1 because that's really the same thing. Now some people have learnt cross multiplication, so you multiply on diagonals, so we'll have x times by cos 65 equals 3 times by 1. So x times cos 65 equals 3. Now we want to divide by cos 65. You're dividing both sides by cos 65, and so you're getting the same answer. Alternatively, you could flip the left and flip the right. So starting off again with it over 1. We're going to flip the left, so that's 1 on cos 65 equals x on 3. And now we can just times 3 because we want to get x by itself. Opposite divide 3 is times 3, so you're going to end up with 3 cos 65. Another way of doing it would be to start off again with this. Cos 65 on 1 equals 3 over x. This time we are going to times by x because we're dividing by x at the moment, and so we get x cos 65 equals 3. And now we have to get rid of the cos 65. At the moment we're timesing cos 65. Opposite times cos 65 is divide 65. So on the opposite side we're going to divide by cos 65. Either way, we're getting the same answer. I like the method up here, it's nice and quick. You just change on a diagonal, swap on a diagonal these terms here. So cos 65 and the x, they just get swapped around so that x is on the top, cos is on the bottom. The reason why that's working is because a divide is becoming a times and a times is becoming a divide. Okay, if you could try B, C, E and F, just pause the video, try that and come back to see the solutions. Right, here are the solutions. 1D, question 1. A, B, C, D, E and F. The next set of questions is about finding angles. I'll start with question 3. Part A, we've got a right angle triangle and we've got an unknown angle, but we do know the hypotenuse and we do know a side. And the question is, find the measure of the unknown angle. So once again we look at our Soccer and we have to pick one which works with what we've got. We've got a hypotenuse value and we've got an opposite value. So once again, this one's sine because we don't have the adjacent. So we write sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Now we don't know theta, so we'll just leave it as theta. But the opposite is 5 and the hypotenuse is 6. Now we have to be able to solve for theta. Now this is where you need to know the opposite of sine is shift sine, or sine minus 1. You do this, theta equals the shift sine of that number, that fraction. Now to do that in the calculator, you have to do this. You'll do shift sine, the sine button's there, you've got to press the blue key, second sine. That does shift sine, and then you want to put in 5 over 6, or 5 divided 6, close bracket, enter, and so it's 56.4 degrees. So 56.4 degrees. That's how you find the unknown angle. Now just pause the video and try and do question 3 and come back and see the solutions. And here are the solutions for question 3: A, B, C, D, E and F.